We've all heard the cliche that everything happens for a reason. I used to roll my eyes every time my parents would say this to me. Whenever my dog passed away, when my boyfriend broke up with me, when I didn't get accepted into the student council. It just didn't make sense, and I couldn't really see why it would happen. It wasn't until years after that everything would fall into place and I would understand. If you don't know me, my name is Martinez-Tamez, but some shorten it just to Martinez. Mom likes to take credit for me though. I'm a retired beach volleyball player, aspiring registered dietitian, and theme park enthusiast, in that order. The first 18 years of my life revolved all around sports. Like any other 4-year-old, I started out with soccer. But I would usually spend more time picking flowers than actually kicking the soccer ball, so we started experimenting with other sports. Tried ballet, swimming, but what really stuck was volleyball and basketball. These two sports taught me a lot about myself. One of the most important lessons was time management. See, my coaches would always say that being early is on time and on time is late. And I didn't want to be late because then I would have to run extra sprints. It also taught me how to balance all my workloads. So volleyball, basketball, I was also in band, track, color guard. So I really had to be good at scheduling. These sports also taught me communication. Believe it or not, it's not that easy to get a bunch of teenage 12-year-old girls to get along. So the key to that was to talk to each other and try to figure out the best solution. Also gave me the work ethic. I liked to play, but to play you had to perform very well. So I'd practice even outside of the scheduled practices with the team. My participation in sports sparked my interest in nutrition. And nutrition is what brought me to Baylor University, my school. When I graduated high school, I went to Waco, Texas to study nutrition. There I met lots of people through volunteer organizations, also through my classes and intramural sports. Baylor is a very tough school academically though. Yeah. I used some of the skills I had learned previously to balance school and my social life and my extracurricular activities. The academics were hard, but those science courses taught me that if I can get through human physiology, I can survive through anything. After I graduate, I want to become a pediatric dietitian. To do this, I have to follow some steps first. I have to finish a dietetic internship, and I would like to get my master's in nutrition. I'm looking for a program that does them both at the same time, so I can get it done quicker. I originally wanted to be a sports dietitian because, of course, I've been playing sports my whole life, but I realized that I have a passion for helping kids. I think it's very fulfilling to help someone innocent and pure that can't do anything for themselves, and I know I'll be very happy if I can make them feel happy too. My major has not always been this clear to me though. It actually took a year off of school to figure out what I really wanted to do after I graduated. As unexpected as it sounds, I found my calling in the medical field thanks to Disney. Halfway through my junior year, I auditioned for the Walt Disney Company. It was in the middle of a testing week, and I was just very stressed, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. Luckily, I got hired, even though I had no acting experience and no singing experience. I just went to the audition, and I put everything into it. I spent the next year as a cast member at Walt Disney World. It was a lot of fun and very magical every single day, and I really understood why they call it the happiest place on earth. I would get to watch shows and ride roller coasters, which I had never done before either. So it was a very different experience for me. Although I wasn't doing much that has to do with nutrition, I found what I love to do. In the meet and greets, I would talk to kids every day about magic carpets and Mickey Mouse and sword fighting. I would even meet parents and they would cry of happiness, sometimes in my shoulders. It was all very emotional. But some of the most memorable moments that I had at Disney was working with the sick and disabled children. Disney partners with Make-A-Wish a lot, so there was a lot of times that I would be playing with a child that was in a situation that they were suffering a lot, and I didn't think they should be. But I had this power to make them happy and make them laugh, and it made me want to be able to do that forever, even if it's not in a setting like Walt Disney World, even if it's in a clinical setting. My experiences were also different, but they're all somehow connected to each other. Sports instilled basic values in me, like hard work and determination, and it led me to study at Baylor. And then being at Baylor is what got me to Disney. Sometimes I think about how different life would be if I had made certain different decisions. I feel like every tiny one impacted my life so much. If I was never an athlete, maybe I never would have been as interested in nutrition. And if I wasn't interested in nutrition, maybe I wouldn't have wanted it to be my major. If it wasn't my major, I probably would have gone to a different school. If I hadn't suffered or struggled so much academically in Baylor, I hadn't been that stressed in that moment, maybe I never would have followed that dream that I had to go work for Disney. It's strange to see how each decision can drastically change your path, but I am certain that it's not a coincidence. I trust that everything that has happened before in my life and everything that will happen is for a reason, and I hope to someday understand that reason.